Going live. Hello. Hello. I just wanted to pop in here and talk about what's on my Google or my mobile news feed. It just usually picks up algorithms from me personally. So the first thing, oh, it just switched over. So of course they had the Nancy Guthrie story. So the first thing is News Nation with Brian Entin. I don't watch News Nation. I don't subscribe to them. I used to, but I stopped. Um, but Brian Entin is on there right now. Pizza deliverer walks up to the Guthrie home without being stopped by police. Oh, I did hear this earlier. What did they say? Hang on. That's on. Hang on. Let's see what they say. I didn't see that earlier.
Apparently someone ordered a pizza out here.
Brian Entin.
And the pizza delivery person showed up and was able to walk the pizza all the way up to the front door, even with the deputies sitting out here. I don't know why the deputies apparently didn't notice that person, because they're trying to keep people from going on the property to pick this stuff up.
You can't.
People are just kind of shocked that this pizza delivery person was able to just walk right up to Nancy Guthrie's door.
You can't make this stuff up. And the thing is that crime scene is no longer viable. Now, if they wanted to get footprints, long gone, because everybody trampled over it. They didn't even like rope off the area where Nancy's, where those blood drops were. And who knows if they took anything from that at the beginning or before Brian Entin made it public, because when they released that crime scene, immediately he went up there and he filmed it. I think I heard him say that they knew about it, but I find it hard to believe. And blood drops, and then also what the person left behind when he was trying to block the camera with whatever he pulled out of the garden, which was so nuts. But they didn't pick up any of that, because he could have spit on that. There could have been something on there. And also, they didn't look for footprints. So now there's hundreds of footprints on there. So they just really screwed that up. They really did. What else do we have? Home of Savannah Guthrie's sister searched amid mom's disappearance. I think that's from E! News. I think we already knew about it. TMZ is on here. Teddy Riley says Chris Brown wasn't wrong. Super Bowl stage should have been his. I don't know what that's about. Kidnapping arrest in missing family case. What is this? Mobile County investigators arrested Juan Argueta on kidnapping charges Monday in connection with the disappearance of Oriela Chaka and her 2 children. Authorities recovered a black van Tuesday linked to the family's home, where evidence of a struggle was found. The FBI and local deputies continue searching mobile home parks in Theodore for the missing family. Sorry I pronounced that incorrectly. That's sad. I mean, that should be in the news. I'm assuming that's in Arkansas or Alabama. That's on NBC News. 15 News.
Our intelligent analysts, our tactical specialists.
Creative techniques, and employer of Aurelia, the missing mother, and he is also in a relationship with one of her daughters, who's an adult. But his.
All right, I'll have to look into advanced warning. Reports find Walsh administration alerted Medicaid providers ahead of fraud checks. Okay, so that's National Desk. Elizabeth Warren and Josh Hawley, bipartisan Senate duo, aim to break up big medicine. Trump, I hate saying his name. The felon instructs spy agencies to provide intelligence to his Stop the Steal lawyer. I hate saying his name. Oh, yeah, there's security over property. Okay. Breaking new timeline revealed in Nancy Guthrie's case. Really? I didn't hear that. Let's find out.
This is Saturday, about 11 days ago. On the 31st of January, Nancy Guthrie travels from her home, roughly 4.5 miles, to her daughter's home where they have dinner. We're told they play games as well. Then she was dropped back off at her house. The sheriff has not told us who specifically drove her, but it's been reported that the son-in-law drove her home at 9:48, and the garage door closes 2 minutes later. And then sometime around 1:45 in the morning, 1:47 a.m., you got that doorbell camera that's ripped off. Now, what's interesting so far is the images that were released yesterday afternoon. None of the images showed the physical removal of the doorbell camera. What that means is hard to say, but that has not been released to the public just yet. At 2:12 in the morning, something's detected. We told it might be a human being. It might be an animal across the camera, but that has not been determined. Right before 2:30 in the morning, okay, you got about a 41 minute period here.
Yeah, so that's a lot of time.
Disconnects from the iPhone of Nancy Guthrie.
Because
right before noon, the family checks up on Nancy. Remember, she was supposed to be at a friend's house for church. She did not show up.
Not hearing anything new.
They made some phone calls. The family went to her house, and they noticed the scene as they found it there. That's when the police are called at 911. Then at noon, 12:15, the patrol arrives at Nancy Guthrie's house, and they see the scene that is there, which is the blood on the front porch, and now the remnants of that plant that was picked up and left there by whomever was standing.
And they left it there. They didn't even pick it up.
Dark of night.
So that's nothing new. New timeline revealed in Nancy Guthrie's case. That was nothing new at all. Let's see. This is not my typical feed that I look at. Let's go. Let's go back over here and look at this. I was just going to go. I'm just going to. Man questioned about. We already knew that. Nancy Guthrie's disappearance says he was released. We saw that. Don Lemon hires an ex-U.S. prosecutor who quit amid concerns over investigation into Renee Good's killing. So, yeah, so he's a Minnesota attorney, I guess, a Minneapolis attorney. So he's going to be representing him Friday at that hearing. So imagine if he didn't have money, like, because he's got to fly to Minnesota. I don't understand why he couldn't do it remotely, but I guess I'm thinking that he should be able to waive his appearance, but he's going to be there. More than a third. Wow, so there's an Irish man who has been detained by ICE in Texas for 5 months as he fears for his life. Pat Tillman's brother pleads guilty to setting fire to Northern California post office. Ooh, that's a federal offense. Data breach exposes personal data of 25 million Americans. I mean, that's nothing new. That's like on the regular. That's a Tuesday. SafePay ransomware group claims to have stolen 8 terabytes of data containing personal information. This came out yesterday. A data breach that impacted a major government tech contractor is now believed to be significantly larger than initially thought, with more than 25 million Americans affected. Conduit, a business, I know that name. Conduit, a business technology firm that provides a variety of services like medical billing, toll transactions, and processing prepaid cards for government programs, experienced a data breach that began in October 2024 and was mitigated in January 2020. And we're just now hearing about it. It's February 2026. Last October, the company began informing consumers who were affected by the breach, which was believed to have affected more than 10 million people who had their names, social security numbers, and medical information exposed. Newly released data breaches reports have pushed the number of people affected in Texas to at least 15.4 million, up from an earlier estimate of 4 million that was released in October, according to a report by TechCrunch. I mean, it's ridiculous. Additionally, the Oregon Attorney General said over 10 million people were affected by the breach, and Conduit has reached out to hundreds of thousands. What are they going to do? Hundreds of thousands of people in Delaware, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and other states, according to TechCrunch's review of breach notification. And what are they going to do? Then they're going to send out emails saying you're part of this massive lawsuit. I forget what it's called. Lawsuit that and settlement. Settlement. Click on this link to get your settlement, and then nobody's clicking on any links. At least I don't. I just don't. Click on your link to get what? $25? Or hacked again? It's crazy. A ransomware group known as SafePay took responsibility for the Conduit data breach and claimed to have stolen over 8 terabytes. And Conduit said in a filing with SEC last year that its investigation of the breach confirmed that the data sets contained a significant number of individuals' personal information associated with our clients and users. And a lot of times, these are all back office stuff. So we don't even know that we're connected with these companies, because the front office of where we're paying, or front vendor, we don't know who's handling all the stuff behind that. So we would not even have a clue until years later, or something happens. The company added in September 30th, 2025, finding that it's working with clients on the next steps required by federal and state law, including individual and regulatory notifications that began and expected. So if they're sending emails, they'll go to spam, or people won't open them because they'll think it's spam. So how are you reaching out to people? Calling them from a unknown number, from an 800 number, and spewing? How do you know? Send out consumer notifications by April 15th of this year. So 2 years. In addition, a dedicated call center has been set up to address consumer inquiries. At this time, Conduit has no evidence of any attempted or actual misuse of any information potentially affected by this incident. The company said in its statement that given the nature and complexity of the data involved, Conduit worked diligently with a dedicated review team, including internal and external experts, and conducted a detailed analysis of the affected files to identify the personal information contained therein, which was a time-intensive process. It's just all BS. Both Conduit and our third-party experts monitor the dark web regularly and have no evidence of any personal information being released on the dark web. I mean, I know you can go, into Credit Karma or Equifax. You can do a dark web search. Millions of student loan borrowers aren't repaying their loans, and defaults are up. Common sweetener may damage critical brain barrier, risking stroke. That's in Science. According to Science Alert. You might as well not eat. Just saying found in everything from protein bars to energy drinks. Oh, that erythritol, erythritol. Can't pronounce it. I mean, I suppose I could look it up. Refine, copy. Let's see. Let's but yeah, it's like everything. Everything is dangerous. Your tap water, your everything you touch. Here.
Erythritol.
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 Erythritol. Okay. I was way off. Oops. So let's get back to it. Let's get back to the news. Oops. Let's get back to the news. Okay. Found in everything from protein bars to energy drinks, erythritol, see, I already forgot, has long been considered a safe alternative to sugar. I don't trust any of that stuff. I don't trust any of that stuff. If you want it sweet, just eat. Even cane sugar is not, it's so processed. So I don't know. I don't trust any of those sugar alternative things. But research suggests this widely used sweetener may be quietly undermining one of the body's most crucial protective barriers, with potentially serious consequences for heart health and stroke risk. And a lot of times you don't know, like there's mystery ingredients. And that's why I kind of switched off, like it's been a while, to, hopefully, minimal ingredients, that they're not hiding any ingredients in the foods that I eat. A study from University of Colorado suggests that it may damage cells in the blood-brain barrier, the brain security system that keeps out harmful substances while letting in nutrients. The findings add troubling new details to previous observational studies that have linked erythritol consumption to increased risk of heart attack and stroke. In the recent study, researchers exposed brain barrier cells to levels of this substance, typically found after drinking a soft drink sweetened with the compound. Yeah, when they came out with sucralose, and they came out with what was the one that back in the 70s, the alternative. I couldn't stand any of them. There was an aftertaste. I have a sensitivity or a high level, like a detection level. I couldn't drink it. Like the aftertaste, just the taste of it, it was tasted like chemicals. Like it was horrible. So I could never drink any of those alternative sweeteners. Monk fruit is disgusting to me too. Typically found after drinking a soft drink with the compounds or whatever, chemical stuff. They saw a chain reaction of cell damage that could make the brain more vulnerable to blood clots or leading clots. So is that in, like, do they use that in soda? And yeah, that's terrible. It triggered what scientists call oxidative stress, flooding cells with harmful, highly reactive molecules known as free radicals, while simultaneously reducing the body's natural antioxidant defenses. This double assault damaged the cell's ability to function properly, in some cases killed them outright. But perhaps more concerning was the effect on the blood vessels' ability to regulate blood flow. Healthy blood vessels act like traffic controllers, widening when organs need more blood during exercise, for instance, and tightening when less is required. They achieve this delicate balance through two molecules, nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels, and endothelin or thelin -1, which constricts them. The study found that erythritol disrupted this critical state. Yeah, so, and what do they use it in? But the sweetener blocked the protective okay, all right, we got that. It's blocking good stuff from happening, and it's causing bad stuff because it's blocking it. Artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, So they're saying, unlike artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, sucralose, this is technically a sugar alcohol, a naturally occurring compound that the body produces in small amounts. This classification helped it avoid inclusion in recent World Health Organization guidelines that discouraged the use of artificial sweeteners for weight control. Yeah, I didn't do any artificial sweeteners. I couldn't stand them. I couldn't do it. Like my body was like, that's not good for you. So we're not, I think we're out of the World Health Organization. I can't get into all the political stuff and all because then I'll never get off here. It's gained popularity among food manufacturers because it behaves more like sugar than other alternatives, while sucralose is 320 times sweeter than sugar. Erythritol provides only about 80% of sugar sweetness, make it easier to use in recipes without creating overpowering taste. It's now, see, this is where you have to be careful, like where it's actually at. Like I started with these coconut clusters from Aldi's, and they're so good because they just have all organic stuff in it, but they do have this sweetener in it, just a small amount. And I have to really look it up because I'm like a sugar addict, so it hit that addictive component where I couldn't stop eating it. So then that always is like a signal to me that my brain is like, oh, something I can be addicted to again. So it's almost like an opposite of like bad tasting stuff, so you don't eat it because it tastes bad, to good tasting stuff that's not natural, like Cara oranges. Oh my God, that is so good. So then that's going to prompt me to look that up. But yeah, everything's so sus. Like how many, the genetically modified fresh foods. All right, I'm rambling. Making it easier to use in recipes without creating an overpowering. So, especially in many sugar-free and keto-friendly foods. See, this is where they sneak stuff in. Trade-off. Regulatory agencies, including the European Food Standards Agency and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, have approved it for safe consumption, but the new research adds to a growing body because they'll abuse it. Yeah, trade-offs. Oh, so now I'm going to look up. I'm going to look up the sweetener that they like, tapioca syrup. So I'm going to look that up. Anyway, that's enough of that. I didn't mean to go that long into that. All right. What is this? Kaiser reaches $30 million settlement with U.S. Labor Department over mental health care practices. Let's look at that real quick because I want to move on to the monks. Kaiser reaches. So what did they do? This is from Reuters. The U.S. Department of Labor said on Tuesday it has settled with Kaiser's Foundation health plan to resolve multiple investigations into the company's practice on mental health and substance use disorder services. The agreement resolves allegations that Kaiser failed to maintain adequate provider networks for mental health and substance use disorder care and improperly used patient responses to questionnaires to deny care. They are doing that, the labor. They are like giving questionnaires to everybody, and people mask their symptoms or like some of their mental health stuff. They mask it So if they give you something like, like they give you a scale, how do you sleep? Are you not sleeping? And they don't want to really disclose that, or they're embarrassed about it, or personal hygiene, they're embarrassed about it. So they're going to give themselves a good score. But then that good score is going to deny them service. So if people are masking and they're giving themselves good scores because they're embarrassed, then they're not going to get the proper health care or mental health care, because so it would be up to somebody who's trained in that to discern if somebody is being somebody's masking, because why do they come there in the first place? Yeah. We have made many enhancements to our mental health care delivery system and acknowledge there is still work to be done to ensure interventions and therapies are aligned with our members' expectations and to ensure we achieve the best patient outcomes. The settlement does not involve current practices or issues. So Kaiser will compensate at least $28 million for the costs its members incurred when seeking out-of-network mental health. Yeah. Who are they paying? It will also pay $2.8 million penalties to the federal government. Why do they get money? Why is the federal government getting $2.8 million? Were they hurt? This is what I understand of these mass settlements. Oh my God, I can't think of the name still. These mass settlements that these companies have to shell out, that people are not seeing this. It goes to the government. It goes to the lawyers. It goes to everybody but the people who are actually affected by it. That drives me nuts. So photos of monks. This is AP News. Okay, so is California facing Medicare fraud allegations? California changes the subject. Okay, whatever. Ketanji Brown Jackson, getting along with each other. Mike Flanagan and Stephen King back in business with The Mist movie for Warner Brothers. Okay. I did watch The Long Walk on Stars, because I paid in advance really, really cheap because I liked the series The Outlander. So I did watch I wasn't that impressed with it. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's go back real quick to the come on, one more. The monks. So photos of monks and rescue dog as they finish cross-country peace walk in DC. So the Buddhist monks walked near the U.S. Capitol on Capitol Hill during the walk for peace. So today's their final day that they walked 2,300 miles, I think. A group of Buddhist monks arrived in Washington, D.C. Tuesday, completing a 15-week peace pilgrimage from Texas, marked by quiet, single-file walks, a growing social media following, and crowds gathering along their route. So, yeah, it's sweet. Escorting the... Hang on a second. Escorted across the chain bridge into the Capitol, the saffron-robed monks and their rescue dog Aloka, Aloka had to midway through the walk, he had like a injury on his leg, I guess an old injury that just got worse. So he, in North Carolina, I don't know if it's a halfway mark, but they did surgery on him. So he's just been following along in a vehicle and then comes out to make appearances. So it's Aloka the Peace Dog. And so he has a YouTube channel. And he's got 1 million followers on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I just read that somewhere. So Aloka, so their rescue dog Aloka have drawn national attentions with their message of mindfulness, healing, and unity. And it's so funny because this dog has a heart shape like on his forehead spot, like a white spot, because he's brown, he's tan and white, and he's got a heart shape, and then he's got that curled tail, but it just curls at the top. So when you look at it inverted, it's like P for peace. It's so cute. But yeah, so people stop and give them flowers and bow, so they made it to DC. They went through the storms and everything. And a lot of times they don't wear footwear, but I mean they had to in some of the cases because their feet would fall off. But yeah, they made it to DC. But that's pretty much it that I want to talk about in the feed here. There was something that caught my eye, but that's for me. Oh, the ghost students apply for collegiate financial aid, making off with millions of dollars. Yeah, that I heard about a couple weeks ago. And this poor kid, they somehow got his information while he was in high school. Of course, nobody knew about in the family. So when he went to apply for college, they said he had all these loans out. That's horrible. That's horrible. Oh, Britney Spears sold her song catalog. I wonder for how much. So that means we're going to be seeing it on commercials, right? Yeah, Target's still struggling. Good. Because, why are you going to bend the knee? Or who knows? Again, let's stay out of that topic for now. I'll get on that, but Republican House bill guts laws protecting U.S. consumers from toxic chemicals. Yeah, they're just trying to kill us all. Osteoarthritis is appearing in younger adults, triggering decades of discomfort. That I can see. Well, one, there's less mobility. Growing up for Gen X's and boomers and millennials, older millennials, you didn't really have all this digital distraction, so you were outside and you were more mobile. It's less and less, so that makes sense. And also all the shit that's in the food, excuse my French, but all the chemicals and modification, and that causes inflammation. But anyway, that's it. I just was going through. Pink announced as Kelly Clarkson show guest host as singer. What? Okay, let me say that again. Pink announced as Kelly Clarkson show guest host. Oh, okay, as Kelly Clarkson show guest host as singer sets March fill-in dates. Yeah, because she's leaving her show. That was so tragic with her ex-husband. I mean, I guess he was a real D-bag. And just an opportunist, it sounded like. And I could see that right from when they first got married. I got a sense of that. And, but it's sad. I mean, he was very young. It's sad that he died like that. Details reveal more about whistleblower complaint against Tulsi Gabbard. Everybody's starting to thaw out here in the Northeast. We're starting to thaw out. Okay, well, that's it. I just wanted to, I don't know. I was going through stuff and I'm like, I'm going to get on and just talk about the feed. Even if nobody's watching or listening, I'm just going to keep coming on here, and then eventually I'll cultivate kind of a schedule and a presentation. I've been researching how to, I guess on YouTube, the YouTube Live, there's not many tools to do customized presentations, I guess you do have to use like StreamYard. And there was another one that came up that you can use to do a more interactive live. But I thought you can do that on YouTube. Like there was customization when I was first logging in to do a live option. So I clicked off of that. I just wanted to do the simplest. So I'm going to try and go back and see how many tools YouTube has for customization. I know StreamYard, like a lot of people use it because they can put up PowerPoints and documents and other people's channels or news articles. I would think that YouTube would have that capability, but I got to look into it. I don't know. So I looked at some other channels. I'll find out. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with tech. I'm comfortable with it, and I can learn. But anyway, I'm going to go. It's kind of gloomy out because it's warm, though. I mean, it's like summertime for us. 38 degrees. Oh, let me see what the temperature is. 36 degrees. It's a little windy, though, and cloudy. So, I mean, when it was negative temperatures at one point, it felt warm at one point. Not warm, but, not in the negative, not in sub-zero. Didn't feel like sub-zero, but it was. But you get used to it. You acclimate. So for people who are living in warmer climates or just like, what the, But anyway, I'm going to go with my little Dollar Tree headband thing. I like it because it doesn't give me a headache. And I guess you just get it to, push your hair back so you can do your, facial stuff or whatever. But I like it because it keeps my flyaways contained, and it doesn't give me a headache, and it doesn't slide off my head. And it doesn't get all. I have my sparkly rhinestone bling headbands that don't slide and stuff, but because they have all the bling on it, my hair gets all tangled in it. So I only wear that out, but I like wearing this around the house. Anyway, I'm rambling. Who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody's watching. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting to switch that to live. All right, well, I'm going to stop. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to see if anything new. Nobody's really out there streaming. Courtroom Confidential, Josh, he was out there doing a live stream. Clutch My Pearls, Justin, they were doing a live. I think they're still doing a live stream. Gisela from Grizzly True Crime, she came up with some updates. Of course, Brian Enton. Who else? Down the Rabbit Hole News. She came out with a couple of things. And then it's sad that, what's his name, died. Van Dyke. Not Van Dyke. He was so young, 48. I didn't watch this show. So, I mean, I knew of him because I do watch pop culture and stuff like that, but I didn't watch any of that show that he was on. I can't remember the name of the show, but anyway, sad when anybody dies, but especially somebody as young as him. So 48 years old, young, too young. He was passing. I guess he had colorectal. Oh my God, colon cancer. Sad. It's really sad. So I am gonna sign off and end the stream. And I didn't see how long I talk. So I think I'm trying to figure out, like, trying to pace myself. Like I was gonna come on for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, but I have ADHD, so I just ramble and I get off on tangents and I jump around. So I was going to just come on for 15 minutes and talk about the headlines in my feed and then get off. But I can't do that. All right, 40 minutes. I'm done. Thank you.